Hi! Remember us? Happy New Year! We're back!
Hi!
Hey.
Bet you didn't think you were going to see our smiling faces again.
You were wrong! Dead wrong! Welcome back to Geeking Out. This is episode 272.
Alright.
We are 3 episodes away from episode 275, and then 25 more episodes away from 300.
Woo!
I think that's a good endpoint, don't you?
We'll see when we get there.
Exactly. So, let's hope we can get our puppet special by then.
Yeah. That'll be a challenge to accomplish, but
Yep.
I'll take that one on.
So, we've been gone for over a month now. We've got some
Closer.
stuff to catch up on.
Closer to 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we've got some stuff to catch up on, so let me start off with the steampunk team-up book, Legenderry. Alright, so, this one has Magna Spadarosa, who is trying to get a taste of the big city, but it's not all she had hoped. Assassins galore are after her, and she doesn't know why.
Alright.
So it's up to Vampirella, the Green Hornet, Kato, and a couple other Dynamite licensed characters to find out why she's being hunted and what happened to her sister, Sonya.
Oh, geez.
Alright, so this is interesting. Is it well executed? Not really. But interesting? Damn right. The art here is really nice, I will say that much.
I agree.
But the story is where this kind of gets convoluted. Especially when you're dealing with so many characters.
Mm-hmm.
And so many, well, universes, as it were.
Well, and characters in costumes that you don't normally see them in,
Exactly.
which makes it more difficult to
'Cause
pick them out and remember.
When I first picked up this book, I didn't even realize that they were using those characters.
I had no idea when I was flipping through.
Yeah, and that can be a problem, because you might want to sell it to the people who want to see these characters.
Mm-hmm.
But how are they going to know if you're not going, look who's all in this book?
Hey guys, check it out!
But look!
Yeah.
But, I still enjoyed it. I will say that much. It's just a little bit convoluted, and it really doesn't help the storyline. Especially with so many characters at one time.
Mm-hmm.
It really makes things a bit more confusing than it should be. But, if you're looking for a steampunk event comic, then I guess this one would be it.
Alrighty. Well, speaking of event comics of a sort, this is Inhumanity #1. It came out a few weeks ago, and it's part of Marvel's newest big storyline crossover.
One of like 10, I think, this year.
There were a lot in 2014.
By the way, Peter Parker's coming back. Who knew?
Never would have imagined.
No.
Marvel's got a ton of stuff going on this year, so you'll want to check that out. But this is the #1 for their new ongoing Inhumanity, and I'm going to start off by saying that I think you should check this one out. So, Earth's been flooded with the inhuman gas Terrigen. I apologize if I messed up the pronunciation. I didn't look it up, I used logic.
Give us a break. We've been off for a month.
Terrigen is a gas that forces the Inhumans to transition and gain their superpowers. They don't see them as superpowers, they just see them as their destiny. But, you know, for all of us, superpowers. Now, with Adelan having fallen, countless are dead, and innumerable new Inhumans to find and learn how to control their powers, we're gonna see some really interesting stuff.
Yep.
One of my favorite features about this book is I was able to walk into it knowing very, very, very little about the Inhumans and still understand what was going on. Thank you so much for that. Thank you
Considering characters like the Inhumans who have a long history in the Marvel Universe, some people do need a little catch-up.
Yes.
Which is always nice.
They have done a fantastic job of giving us a bit of background, the important knowledge that we needed to understand where this story was going.
Which is always good.
Yes. It's wonderful. It's appreciated. I enjoyed the art. And I'm really actually excited to see where this story is going to go. So I highly recommend that if you're going to check out any of Marvel's new ongoings, check out Inhumanity, because it was... Or, sorry, no. My apologies. Inhumanity is a miniseries. Inhumans is the one that's coming up. That's an ongoing. My sincerest apologies on that one.
Again,
However,
we've been off a month. Give us a break.
Oh no, it's not even we've been off a month. Inhumanity, Inhumans. The similarity...
Yeah.
I think anybody...
It's a couple words.
Yeah.
Letters, sorry.
So, check out
Again,
Inhumanity.
we've been off a month.
Check out Inhumans when it comes out, because if it's anything like Inhumanity, it's going to be great.
Alright. Next up, prepare that censor bar. It's Sin Boldly, #1, by Joseph Michael Linsner. And in this one, in Hell is Waiting, sinful Susie learns a lesson about the wages of sin, while in Burning Roses, Obsidian Stone loses an old friend and welcomes a new demon. Alright, so this was pretty bad. I'm not saying that the art was bad, because Joseph Michael... Hi, Mario! But the art by Joseph Michael Linsner here is, as always, utterly gorgeous. But where this book fails is in the storytelling department. From the get-go, it's really weak. These characters have been around in the Dawn series for years, but never developed. And seeing these characters now trying to be in their own story, it doesn't help them at all become characters.
No.
They're still archetypes, if anything.
Unfortunate.
And there's a joke that is continuous throughout the first story.
An inappropriate joke.
A very inappropriate joke that just isn't funny.
No.
Honestly, since Joseph Michael Linsner and Ava Hopkins left each other, he's lost his way, honestly. And I think she was the creative spark that helped him go and create masterpieces. And without her, I think he's just another bad girl artist. I'm just saying.
Unfortunate to say, but...
And the last couple books that he's done without her just haven't had the heart. You want evidence of that? Read Dark Ivory. The last thing they did together. Just beautiful story, great character development. Everything was perfect about that book. But this, I just can't get into it. And it really hurts me to say that, because I really like this guy. But unless you're a gigantic Linsner fan, don't pick this one up. There's really nothing to it.
You know what there's really nothing to, but I still think you should pick up? Scribblenauts Unmasked.
It's a lot of fun.
So, this takes place after the events of Scribblenauts Unmasked, the video game, and the Justice League is in need of Maxwell and Lily's help as the villains try to take over the DC universe. In this book...
As villains are wanting to do.
Yes. In this book, you get to see Damian and Batcow take on Harley Quinn. You get to watch Batman ask for help. What? He knows that word? I wasn't sure it was in his vocabulary.
Can you,
Okay. Yeah. I just don't think he could say it. Yeah. And then...
Go get back out.
Of course, we get to enjoy as Max creates fanciful new weapons and armor for the Bat family. So, this book is straight up adorable. If you enjoy Scribblenauts, you'll like this book.
It's very silly, and there's some really good gags and puns. Lots of puns.
Lots of them. It's cute and adorable. It's great for all ages. If you have somebody at home that enjoys playing Scribblenauts but doesn't enjoy reading, this is a great way to get them into reading. I have to own this book because it's so adorable. So, if like me, you love adorable things, check it out.
Wow, DC did something right. I'm scared.
DC does lots of things right.
Like what?
That?
Well, that's one thing.
Batman? just Batman.
Okay, I suppose.
They made Batman. They've done all of the right things.
Yeah, but get rid of Zack Snyder and maybe then we'll talk for the movies. Alright, next up we have Robotech Voltron. Yep, they're crossing over two of the biggest 80s anime series. So, the storyline is as follows. Earth and the distant world of Aris are profoundly altered by a mysterious rift in time and space. Damn, those rifts in time and space always
Curses.
making universes cross over in weird ways. So, how will Roy Fokker and the Skull Squadron cope with the mysterious new enemy?
It sounds interesting.
Why, they'll use the Voltron units to combine with the Valkyries and create a whole new robot master race that will kill the human race. Well, that's thinking too outside the box, I think.
And we'll start the beginnings of the Transformer. Mwahaha.
That would be hilarious.
Hey, come on, if you're making brand new robot races, then...
Yeah. Yeah, that
And
could...
we're already dealing with a rift in time and space, so
Yeah.
there's nothing saying that we couldn't create the Transformers, rift in time and space, and boom.
Other than a different company owns the rights to that, but yeah.
You can get around those things.
Exactly.
That's what lawyers are for.
Exactly. Alright, so if you're a fan of Robotech and Voltron, it's just nice to see them back on the printed page again. And this is a really good introduction to both universes, because it gives you a tiny bit of background and history as well.
Oh, that's nice.
Which is good, because quite frankly, with two universes as big as Robotech and Voltron, you need that.
Well, I know
And-
that I opened the book and it felt like I had Robotech on.
Yep. The art here is utterly fantastic and really fits the style of the old 80s series for both. So, really, if you're a fan of Robotech or Voltron, check this one out. It's a lot of fun.
Alright, folks, last up for me today is Disney Kingdom's Seekers of the Weird #1.
Always seeking stuff that's weird,
Why wouldn't you?
because it's fun.
So you wouldn't do it because it's fun? You're so boring.
I know.
Alright, so this...
Actually, I should call that book Sin Borley. Yes, Sin Borley.
So, in Seekers of the Weird, you're going to meet Maxwell and Melody, a very different Maxwell from the one that I previously mentioned.
There's so many Maxwells.
They are teenage citizens of New Orleans and enjoy being regular teens and living in the house behind their parents' shop. The Keep It Weird, a store specializing in the odd and unknown. It's an average day for them, or so they think, right up until the taxidermy comes to life and kidnaps their parents.
Hooray! What?
Yep. Taxidermy comes to life.
Where have I seen that before? Oh, right. That really scary Alice in Wonderland film from way long ago. I'm still terrified of that movie.
So now, Max and Melody have to find the coffin clock, whatever that is.
It's obviously a clock in the shape of a coffin.
Not necessarily. It could also
Or it
be a
could be-
clock that goes on a coffin and releases a
in a
specific
coffin.
person. It could be in a coffin. It could be a clock that just coughs a lot.
Could be.
So, if they do not return the coffin clock in time, they face never seeing their parents again.
Is that really so bad?
Yes, they like their parents.
Okay.
So,
But then they would get all the food that they could want.
Oh, shucks. So,
And
I
they
have
would
to
get
say,
to
guys-
watch the pay-per-view channels.
I have to say, guys, that I really enjoyed this book. I liked the art style. I like the direction the story is taking. The colors are great. There are some really interesting new characters that I'm really excited to see what they do with. And there are some characters that remind me of old characters that are also very exciting. So,
It kind of feels very Disney-esque as well at parts, so
Yeah.
it works.
definitely. I highly recommend this. I'd say a minimum of around age 8 or so.
Yeah,
just
8 to
because
10.
it can be a little scary, but I don't think that it's... I think, age 8 as a starting point. So, check it out. It's Seekers of the Weird #1.
Alright, and last up this week, to catch us up a tiny bit, before we catch up a little bit more next week, we've got Lunita #1. And in this one, a drug that links people to the supernatural has been found in Spain. So, DEA agent Summer must join forces with a Spanish agent that believes herself to be the real daughter of the moon to solve the mystery and save the imperiled supernatural creatures.
Interesting.
This is interesting, to say the least. The art style is a little bit to be desired.
I was going to say jarring.
Yeah, it can be a bit jarring as well, especially if you're not used to seeing Spanish-styled comics. As Spain tends to have very stylistic comics when they release them. The story here is really good, though. If you can get past the jarring artwork, the story here is really compelling. And you've got some really good, strong female leads in this as well. So, honestly, if you want to check out something that's really different and in a supernatural vein, check this one out. It's a lot of fun.
Fantastic.
Alright, so that brings us to the close of the very first episode of 2014. We will be back next week with another episode and a couple more books to catch up on, so we'll see you then.
If there's anything you'd like to see, send us
Let
a
us
Facebook
know.
message.
We've got a month or so to catch up on. So let us know what you'd like to see. Comment, fave, like us on Facebook, etc. on Twitter. We will see you next week. Have a good one.